Hi all, how you doing? Hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. All right, just a quick video on Bitcoin. Okay, so good news is that one Bitcoin is now worth $119,000, new all-time high, I guess. Okay, so I say the word I guess because the point is you're comparing it to US dollars. All right, is it a new all-time high in different currencies? And you'll probably find the answer is no. Okay, and the reason being is that US dollar is worth a lot less than what it was, say, 5 months ago. So if you look at the conversion chart from dollars to pounds, say, so here at the moment, one US dollar gets you 0.74 Great British pounds. You look at the chart and you go back to say just after January, and one US dollar would get you 0.82 pounds. So in other words, a dollar was worth more back in January by about 8%. Okay. So the reality is it's not really an all-time high as such. So I don't want to sort of put dampeners on things, but I just want to get over the point that there's fluctuations in currencies. So when you're selling your Bitcoin for a currency, it can vary, okay, obviously on the currency. What I would say, remember this, one Bitcoin is worth one Bitcoin. All right. I know it sounds like very simplistic, but I believe, well, that's maybe not where we're going to head, okay, necessarily, but currencies have their day. Currencies tend to last um like 100 years or 150 years kind of thing, and then they're kind of finished. I mean, at the bottom line is fiat currency is a Ponzi scheme, all right? In 1971, it used to be based on the gold standard. You'd have to put a certain amount of gold away, and you'd have to put some more, and that would equate to whatever amount of dollars is that or pounds is out there. Nowadays, the gold standard's been removed and you can just print more money, okay? It's not really printing more money, it's just using computers to say, oh, we're going to release more money into the wild, basically. Um, so it is a Ponzi scheme, okay? It's like leaves on a tree, okay? So that's why I always say one Bitcoin is worth one Bitcoin because we're into Bitcoin because there's only 21 million, and the likelihood is there's more like 15 million of them because so many have been lost. You know, you've obviously heard the story about the English guy throwing his hard drive away, and it's now in some tip or other, and he's given up on it. So those bitcoins are lost forever. Okay, so it's not like you can print more of it, like the US dollar or the Great British pound. Bitcoin, once if you've lost it, okay, it's highly unlikely you're ever going to find it again. You know, you can't mine Bitcoin on an asteroid or something like that. Okay, so gold and things like that. You say gold is quite rare, but actually, you could mine it on another planet. You know, if we ever start going to different planets, or if we get an asteroid or a comet or something like that, we could increase the amount of gold we've got. Remember, Bitcoin, there's a finite amount of it, and that is why it is so special. And that is why I believe something like Bitcoin, if not Bitcoin, will eventually be the currency, okay, that we use, okay, rather than US dollar or the Great British pound. So yeah, great. We've got all-time highs. Um, but remember, bottom line, one Bitcoin is worth one Bitcoin. Okay. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have a good rest of your day.